I will be in the back of the room figuring out. You're a very lucky man. I hope you guys fuck this. Oh, hey, oh shit. Any minors in the audience, don't listen to me.
I'm not a minor. Tell them how old you are. 24.
Shocker, people.
Holy shit.
That's mine. Super time.
You know, hey, I'm only 20, so fuck everyone.
Maybe in your career then.
I actually, when I was at college, we went, have you guys ever heard, oh shit, what's the name of it? Hunter, have you guys ever played Hunter? Well, at college or doing a bar crawl, you would usually do it, you know what it is? Awesome! No, we are not playing, holy shit, we'll die. Hunter was one of those amazing random not beer pong, Jesus Christ, bar crawl games. What Hunter was, is all of you figure out about how much money that you would spend drinking for the night. Now in my case, it was 50 bucks. If we went out into the town, I would spend about $50 drinking. But you would play the game with about 20 people. So 20 people, let's put the average at $20. That's $400, okay? You would all take a $20 bill out of your wallet, you'd put it into the hat, and then everyone would draw straws. And the short straw, he was the hunted. And an hour before the bar crawl started, he went to any bar in the area. Now, you would normally do this in Chicago. We did it at NIU with a smaller group. But basically, you pick one of the multi-bars in the area. And from that point forward, you sit down at the bar and you start drinking on everyone else's money. And you are not allowed to stop drinking. And you just keep buying drinks. And if you're at NIU, if you're ever in DeKalb, and you tell the bartender, like, sorry, I'm the hunted. Your glass will never be empty. So I was the hunted once. I had $380. And an hour before anyone else was allowed to go to a bar, I sat down at the Western themed bar that was only open for 2 years at NIU. Because I thought to myself, they're gonna look for me at the gay bar, they're gonna look for me at the nice bar, they're gonna look for me at the hipster bar. They're not gonna look for me at the Western bar. An hour after the hunted starts drinking, 1 hour after he leaves the door, everyone else starts off on a bar crawl. And every bar that they go to, they must order a drink that the hunted had prescribed to him on a list. And those drinks are never just a rum and coke, it's usually a rum and cup. For those of you who don't know what a rum and cup is, it is a cup of rum and a can of coke. Rum and cup. And that is on your money as well, and your goal is to find the hunted. And once you find him, he splits whatever's money left is with you, and you guys continue drinking until everyone gets together. Most people die. It doesn't go well for a lot of people. Because that night I was at a bar that a lot of people didn't know existed because the week before that it was a Denny's.
Make friends with the med students, they will give you IVs.
Yeah, they will also teach you exactly how much alcohol they can put into the IVs to really fuck you up.
Oh yeah,
oh, Leon, I miss you. Guys, if you ever get to play Hunter Huntee, I suggest going to a bar that they will catch you at, because you can't drink $360 of booze. Well, technically you can, but then you miss a few classes and half a semester. So if you're ever looking for a drinking game to play, it's one of the worst. Pandemic. Again? This is so weird.
Oh, good job, keeper.
Okay. Alright guys, this is how this is going to work. So, the bar has been nice enough to grant us a bottle, which was super fucking kind to them. So, when you're out there, thank the bar, because myself and Des now have a bottle to drink out of. I have scotch. That's mine.
Is that the same scotch right?
No.
Quarter bounce. Quarter bounce.
This is the same scotch that Traeger had at MCMC.
I thought it tasted.
Yeah, I usually buy him bottles to shut him up. I love Drager to death. He needs to be shut up sometimes. Guys, we are going to sit up here and tell random stories, but in lieu of that, we ask. I'm going to just throw this over there. Ready? Thank you. Guys, that's my top hat. There's already a bit of money in the top hat, or somebody stole it. Put your hand in there and pop it out. Yep, that's all. Guys, we ask that if you have money to give it now. We're giving this all to the charity at the end of the night. That being said, I'm going to try to get through this bottle as fast as I can, because this panel and the next panel, we are going to be drinking. When this bottle is done, I'm not going to have much to drink. So the bar has increased the price on drinks slightly that you're going to bring to me. And when you do that, some of that money goes to charity. And in the end, I'm going to match that money. So the faster I finish this, the more money we're making for charity. And also the hat is going around the room. Guys, let's make this a successful con. I run conventions. I cannot tell you how important it is. Are you the charity?
No, I want to ask a question.
Oh, yeah, sure, go for it.
Isn't it?
Look, charity is in here. Shit, I gotta behave. I am a heterosexual thing.
We need more charity. How much to get you to guzzle that?
A bottle of wine?
Yeah.
You kill my throat. I will guzzle other things that do not include cum. So, here's the thing you'll learn if you drink a lot. Acidity will kill your larynx, and I still have to talk all weekend, and I have to go to work to talk. Now, that being said, how much to get me to drink quickly and maybe to go upstairs and get a bottle of my personal booze?
How about a puke bucket?
A puke bucket? Puking won't happen until I'm back in my room.
Oh, okay.
All right, we're going to start this off. We're going to start this off with a classic. Some of you have heard it, some of you have not. By the way, Pandez will be joining me. He had to take a phone call. He will be joining me the second that's done. Who here has been to Anthrocon? Who here has been to the Whose Line Is It Anyway at Anthrocon? Okay. At Anthrocon, they are in a huge convention center. It's beautiful. Okay, I love it, and I also hate it because I could never buy it. I could never afford to throw a con here because, well, basically, fuck unions. If you're in a union, that's great. It's just the one that works for Anthrocon who charged me $160 because we moved chairs. Gives you an idea of what it's like to run conventions. Outside of the room where we run Whose Line Is It Anyway is a hallway. And on the other side of that hallway is an atrium, basically. An open air balcony that is half garden and half standing area. And one year they forgot to lock the door. Now, I've been doing Whose Line for a little under a decade, but that year at Anthrocon, now me and Kage have been friends for a very long time, but you have to remember, if you got a con as big as Anthrocon, you delegate. So Kage knew exactly who I was and asked his director of programming, hey, Alkali just asked me, is there a Whose Line Is It Anyway? And his director of programming said, yep, we have a panel called Whose Line Is It Anyway? It was not me running it.
Oh, you gotta pass that.
It was a gentleman who tried his best. But there's a lot of subtle nuances to running that panel. And it didn't go well, unfortunately. And I was standing in the back of the room, and I got a lot of looks. And I got a lot of people who came up to me and asked me why I wasn't running the panel. And then I got guilted. And then I walked out of the room feeling like shit. And a guy I knew said, don't worry, we'll help you, and reached into his backpack. If you have ever played D&D and know what the handy haversack is, thank you. He reached back and all of a sudden came out with a bottle and then he dual wielded it. Said, which one would you like? And they were the same bottle. And I was like, I'm having a pretty shitty night. And that Bacardi 151 is missing the little piece of metal that stops it from flowing into my mouth. And he gave me a bottle of Bacardi 151. And myself and 20 other people went out onto the porch and started doing toasts. The first toast was truly furry. To furries! The cause of and solution to all of life's problems. But it was Bacardi 151. So I passed it to the guy next to me. He looked at me, I'm not fucking psychotic. Well, yeah, valid point. So I passed it this way. And it was Miko, my roommate now. And he said, cool! And things started happening. We're gonna fast forward 10 minutes. If I remember correctly, the toast was to not falling off the balcony, and no one believed me. 10 minutes after that, the toast was to finding the door and the problem it was going to cause. After that, the toast was that we watered every plant on that balcony. We didn't have water. Adi understands. Where's my yellow dog? Well, for half an hour, we stood outside. If you were here earlier, I talked about knowing your limit. My limit is here. It's an imagined limit. This is how drunk I can get before I get sick. But it's a crazy math equation as you get drunk, because as you get drunk, as you approach your limit runs away from it. It's still fucking here. It's just getting worse. And I looked onto my 20 new friends, none of whom except for Miko I can tell you their names to this day. I said, well, I'm staying here. Why shouldn't I? Oh, I did finish the bottle. Between two of us, we finished half a bottle of Bacardi 151. Now there's an old wives' tale that says, if you get too drunk, you won't feel it till you stand up. Well, we were standing. We didn't feel it until we started singing Irish drinking songs. And if I remember correctly, the song went like this. The Ballad of Callum Young. Oh, a balls to your partner and your ass against the wall. If you cannot get laid on a Saturday night, you cannot get laid at all.
Well,
The village magician, he was there, but he was very crass. Pulled his foreskin over his head and vanished up his ass. And that is when my friend vomited into the plants. And my 20 new friends, who we have toasted everything from family to friends to furries to the future, scattered. And I looked at my friend because don't forget, my level was here, I was here, which puts my level here, which is incorrect because I was here. And I'm like, I got a room get you back to. I had no idea where he was staying. We started knocking on doors. The Ballad of Calamure was being sung throughout the hallways. The village postman, he was there, but he had the pox. So instead of screwing the ladies, he did the letterbox, singing the balls to your partner, your ass against the wall. If you cannot get laid on a Saturday night, you cannot get laid. And hey, look, security. I am very good friends with most of the door staff. Such good friends that one of the door sign knew where my room was. They escorted me and my new friend back to my room, knocked on the door, and while a room party was going on, threw us in and said, if we had found anyone else like this, they would be in an ambulance right now, but this is Alkali and we would never let him live it down. Take care of him, and closed the door. And Xander, my mate, went, I'm pretty sure that was the door sign. And then Anthrocon was over. Unfortunately, that story started Saturday night. It is hands down the drunkest I have ever been in my life. Guys, drink responsibly, and remember, Bacardi 151 is a mixer, not a shooter. Ladies and gentlemen, my wonderful co-host, Fandom! Thank you. Pandez, the bar has supplied us with a wonderful bottle of white that I haven't been drinking out of. Guys, don't tell him. Guys, for those of you who don't know Pandez, this is a gentleman that I've been doing comedy and improv with for quite some time now. He is the con chairman of Indie FurCon. He has been in other board of director positions at other conventions. He is the vice con chairman of Motor City FurCon, or McFuck as we call it. Because we're assholes. And was the guest of honor at Fur Squared basically every year, but we made it official last year.
And I made you pay for it.
Yes, you did. Pandez, I told the first story. You weren't in here. I told the truth. the drunk story. Do you have a story for them? Because there's something I need to go talk to them about, and I need you to solve.
Not a problem.
Go for it.
What's a good story? Picking cotton. You want to go right to the picking cotton story, do you? All right. We want to hear money for picking cotton. All right. So, for those of you that don't know, in the real world, I am a pharmacist. Yes, I'm a drug dealer. I do this for a living.
Hi, Dada!
Hi, X.
Hi.
And at one time, I was working in the city of Flint, and I had a technician who was an adorable young man. We'll call him Lamar. And he
Was that his name?
No.
Okay.
It's very close to his name, though. But he was this, like, skinny black dude, and he was adorable. And he was working his way up. He was looking like a... I didn't point at you. He's pointing at you.
I know he is. I can see him from the front of
And he was adorable. This was the time that the Chappelle show was on, and we would put quotes back and forth all the time. And yeah, one person. F your couch. But we had this great rapport. I mean, you know, like if we weren't coworkers, we would like have hung out all the time. But this one day, like we just had this huge rush. It was crazy, and then it suddenly calmed down out of nowhere. Like, okay, let's fill some scripts and get going. So we're both there, and we're filling a bunch of scripts. And there's this one that's very, very powdery. It's called Bactrim. A lot of people are allergic to it. So after you count a script for it, you have to wipe down the tray. So there I am, and I'm counting this Bactrim script, put the pills in, and I look, and we normally have a roll of paper towel and some alcohol there, and it wasn't in front of me. I'm like, where'd it go? And I look over to my right, and there in front of Lamar is the alcohol, but instead of paper towel, there's this big thing of cotton balls. So I go, hey Lamar, can you pick some cottons for me? Without even breaking a sweat, reaches in, grabs it, hands it to me. I'm like, oh shit! I, the heavy-set white dude in charge, just asked my skinny black dude that works for me to pick me up. God damn it, HR's coming in her bed. So immediately, I put it down. I'm sorry, Lamar. Was that racially insensitive of me? And he's like, dude, you crazy! And he fell down the whole rest of the day. Dude, come here. Do it again. Come on, go, say it again. Lamar, we pick some cover. Is that racially insensitive? Oh, you're crazy! I really had a good sense of humor, though.
I'm glad.
I'm glad that you know, completely innocent little, you know. I could have phrased it better. Could you grab a handful of cotton balls for me? Could you hand me some cleaning materials? But no, I had to use the phrase. Can you pick some cotton for me?
I think my all-time favorite that's racist without being racist was, I was not a fan. I didn't get the appeal of it until I saw it live. Xander dragged me to a, not the top level, not WWF or whatever it's called, WWE, but a mid-level wrestling event that was happening literally in my neighborhood. And it was just like these guys called the Young Bucks were wrestling these guys called the We're Not Actually Gay, but they were gay. And it was really weird. But it was wild watching these guys just destroy their bodies for our amusement. And I have to say, like, I was sold. Seeing it live was totally different. But at one point, now you have to bear in mind, the room this was happening in was maybe 6 of these. Just that big. So there was a ring that took up most of the area. The aisle that they walked in on, the back of the stage had maybe room for 400 people at the most. And at one point, a very large African-American man who was wrestling got up on the stage, and he starts taunting this little white guy who he was wrestling against. And the audience, who was definitely on the side of the African-American, like, oh man, kick his ass, beat the shit out of him, fuck him up! And there was a moment of silence, and some guy in the very back of the room, steal his stuff! And the gentlemen in the ring, who, I mean, these guys are actors, don't ever think differently, especially now that I've seen it. They are actors, they are professionals. He's standing up there, and he's got this look, and this guy's sitting, and he fucking lost it. And he just starts cracking up, and the whole building is dying laughing. And he goes, motherfucker, I'm not gonna steal his stuff. He's worth like $8 like me, and then he beat the shit out of him. I'll never forget the moment of silence and steal his stuff!
What's he wearing?
That's apparently a super move. It's like Kamehameha and steal his stuff. That's how wrestling works, right? There's super moves. So,
This is as much as I know about wrestling. How do you type with those boxing gloves?
oh my God, you watch Strong Bad.
Oh, strong bad, that's my jam. First of all, the year 2001.
Oh my God. You've got a problem. So before we go any farther, I want to really quick call somebody up to the stage. We're going to two people. We're going to go two people up here because I'm going to get too drunk and I'm going to start forgetting names. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're in the audience, which I know you are because I can see you, could we get Galaxy and Galaxy's mother, who I'm now going to call Andromeda, because that works. Galaxy and Galaxy Mama, would you please come up to the front of the room? Guys, give them a big round of applause. You can put on the fursuit head if you want. That used to be how I got over stage fright.
Mama, can you help me?
That explains
Do you want your head on?
Okay, I'm lying. I got drunk. By the way, if you ever have stage fright, I recommend getting drunk right up to the level where you're about to vomit, but don't go all the way. Because one of them is really funny and one of them is not. Not at all.
Okay, at what point are you right now?
Right now, I'm still at barely tipsy. I'll keep working on it.
Work on it harder.
Andromeda, which is the name I'm going to call you by, that's Galaxy Mama. Oh, what was your name?
Little bit.
Little bit?
Yeah.
Little bit of a Galaxy Mama? Okay, so you're a star. I'm going to call you a star. Star, did you have something to say? Little bit, did you have something that you would like to address the audience with?
Yes. This is my daughter's first time here. This is my daughter, Tisha. And she works really hard at making these. She's very averted and shy. And I'm going to tear up. So I had something made for her. And then wanted to present it.
So Galaxy, Star, or Andromeda, whatever name that we're going with today.
Japanese for galaxy.
How do you pronounce Japanese for Galaxy?
Ginga.
Ginga? I'm gonna keep calling you Galaxy because there's no way to fucking go. Ginga?
You worked
This was-
so hard. And you did so much
Guys, I just want to remind all of you, this is Kage's line, but I'm going to steal it because it is 100% true. There are a lot of fandoms out there. There's anime, there's the bronies, there's a lot of stuff like that out there, and they're all wonderful in their own regard, and I love them all.
And includes the shirt.
But we create what we do. There is no furry cartoon. There is no furry merchandising. There's just us. So the guys that create for us, the people that put their heart and soul into the fandom, guys, this is the backbone of the fandom, and it is, honest to God, the least we could possibly do. And quite frankly, from a personal standpoint, it's so nice to see a family doing this. You have no idea what that means.
You guys have no idea what we went through to get her here. Just, she wanted to do so bad, and she's worked so hard on this outfit to make it. I mean, like 24 hours a day, no sleep, and I was worried about her. And, I mean, she just loves this, and she just loves the family. And
We love her.
That's right.
So
Where are you guys located?
the other side of Michigan,
Michigan.
Oxford, Michigan.
Oxford, Michigan. Let me know if you can make it to a little conventional first square because we would love to pay you when we get there. Guys, let's hear it for one of the creators of Fandom. reason that the dealer's den, that artist alley, is at every single convention you go to, is because this is what we do. We create, there are people that do not work a full-time job because they get to do stuff like this. And quite frankly, even myself, I could not be the normal, sane person that I pretend to be at work if I didn't have the outlet, which is furry. And I think I speak for most of us when I say, sometimes we just need to bark at each other. Especially you. Who's squeaking? Okay, you can't just say panda noises. Okay, okay, you're not that.
She's crying.
All right. Okay.
I know how hard it is. I just want you to know that. And she's been sent to the kids.
So, I was talking to him, kind of since his regrets. There was no way that he could make it here this weekend. So he told me to drink some wine for him, and I took that to heart. So, I'll send him a picture later. I don't know, oh God.
Yeah, I gotta grab her.
Oh, thank you. I used to keep dead soldiers on the table, but then I started to look like an alcoholic. And I'm not talking about Anthrocons. Well, Des, we have an audience to entertain. Guys, there are some chairs up here if you guys need a seat. They're being used. Thank you. Guys, there are chairs. Please take a seat, enjoy yourselves. And don't forget, we are going to try to end on time to go over to MST3K, which is basically the same panel, but we don't have to talk. We're going to watch a movie. We have another... Oh! And apparently two of my friends just told me they're showing up to the convention tonight to drink. I am not going to survive.
I volunteer as
The worst person on Twitter is coming.
The worst person on Twitter is showing up to this
Really?
convention.
He's coming?
Yep, yes, he is. He's a good friend. He's a good programmer. So let's jump a little bit. Let's jump a little bit. You've heard what happens when we get drunk. But have you ever heard, some of you I'm sure have, what happens when my mate tries pot for the first time?
Oh, that smells good.
Yeah, pot does smell good. It smells like freedom. So, my mate was he had not tried a lot of things before me and him got together. I'm more of an equal opportunity sociopath. And he was more of my parents are conservative and I'm scared of them. So one day we went over to my friends and we decided, all right, he is going to make a very large tray of brownies. These brownies had a very specific flavoring that I don't need to say out loud, even though I'm pretty sure I already kind of hinted at it. Figure it out.
Kale flavor?
Yeah, kale flavor. Look how big this Yeah, the other kale. There you go. So, without raising your hand, I want you guys to think about your first time, if you have.
I haven't had one.
I'll take care of it. Here's the thing about your first time. You have to know what to expect before you actually feel it. So your first time, if you're not careful, just kind of feels like, oh, I feel a little different, but let's keep going. Which if you're doing edibles is very easy to do. So we gave him one of the brownies. And he ate the brownie. Nom, 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 nom. And he had a glass of milk. It was adorable. And 2 minutes later, I don't feel anything, nothing at all. I don't feel it. Should I feel it? I should be feeling it. My hand isn't moving. I don't see my hand is a normal hand. I'm not seeing anything. I'm going to go get another brownie. And we are all stopping him like, dude, this is edibles. They take about half an hour. Enjoy the episode of Adventure Time, because that's what we watch when we're high. And if you don't, holy shit, watch Adventure Time when you're high. Oh my God. I have cried at the weirdest shit. Well, all of a sudden, he said, and we all knew, we're not idiots. I'm going to try to give you exactly what he did. ready to tinkle. Now, to get to the bathroom in this house, you have to go into the kitchen and go to the right. He went into the garage where the pot brownies were. And my friend was already feeling it, and he owned the house, and the first thing he is he gonna piss on my car? No, he's gonna go get more brownies. We should stop him. It's like, yeah, we should. This is a really good episode of Adventure Time. And Hellboy is voicing the Lynch. So we left him unsupervised in the garage for an entire 2 minutes. During those 2 minutes, he ate 2 more brownies. And we said, oh, well, we have about 20 more minutes of peace before he goes fucking batshit crazy. Let's play a game of Magic the Gathering, shall we? I'm not going to go into the rest of the night, but we will say that he did cry to what he later claimed was Adventure Time, and we had to tell him was 30 Rock. To this day, he still calls Liz Lemon Fry. We don't know why. But that was the rest of our night. So this is a cautionary tale. Don't eat 3 fucking edible brownies. Stick with 1 and listen to your friends. He also, if I remember correctly, I don't know if that's the same night, he was thirsty and it was humid, and we caught him outside doing this. What are you doing? There's moisture in the air. He was having a drink. And as we promised everyone that you would tell the story, the full story, of when we heard the first use of I'm gonna wreck it! What do you got?
Alright, so, yeah, the very first time I ever got to do stand-up was at FCN, the Now Fun Now Make Fun. This guy convinced me, you know what, dude, come to Who's Line, you have some funny stuff, put something together and do it for the week. So I put together a little routine. It was a story, basically that.
Do the story?
Yeah.
You know what to do. It's a hard one.
It's a hard one. There's sort of the introduction to the season. But it was like the whole idea was that, you know, we don't furs, you know, and everything, but it's not like we always associate cartoons and sex together.
Really?
You know, it's not like I come home from a date and it's like, well, we started getting tangled on the couch. Next thing you know, she's making a grab for my Monsters Incorporated. She took off her shirt. Whoa, she had some Incredibles. I don't remember them all right now, but there's a whole series. But I'm like, oh, we know the deal. But there was one thing. I went to a cartoon. And I walked out of it. And my friends were like, that was really great, it was fun. And I'm like, yeah, it was. I came up with a sex move. From a cartoon? Yes, I did. And it's called the Wreck-It Ralph. Essentially, the concept is, when you are being intimate with your significant other, just as they're about to finish, you ball up your fist, yell, I'm gonna wreck it! Right in the junk. Don't do this move. Don't do this. If you want to never have sex with that person again, then go ahead, but don't do this move. And that's a very, very, very short version of that story.
No fun.
And I told that at the open mic. Later that night, something happened. I was walking back from my cards with this guy. I think we're playing Kings.
Yeah.
And on the way back to my hotel room, one of the rooms I heard after I walked by it. Crash! To this day, I still don't know. Did A, someone just decide to have a joke with their friend and be like, oh, I'm gonna wreck it? You know. Sorry, mine's hitting everywhere. Either somebody legitimately tried the move and the crash was the retribution from the other person, or it was a joke, like, oh, I'm gonna wreck it, and the other person didn't realize it was a joke and sent them flying across the room in terror, like doing some sort of weird kangaroo kick or something. Now, I did talk to the hotel liaison at that hotel and asked them, I have to ask. Somewhere on the 5th floor, 2 years ago, time ago, was there like a room that had particular damage on the Saturday night? And he said, all I can tell you is there's a different model TV in one room on the 5th floor. But that's all I can tell you. So, it's given to my understanding, somebody sent someone flying across the room, and that room needed a new TV.
Now, I think you were there the year that the hotel pulled me aside and told me, oh, no, actually, this convention has gone really well. The only complaint we really have is somebody installed a stripper pole in one of the rooms.
Okay. I don't recall that, but I remember hearing about it.
We're not saying they put a pole up in the room. We're saying they drilled through the ceiling to supports and installed a fully functioning stripper pole in their room. And the hotel wasn't like, oh my God, you installed a stripper pole. The hotel was like, holy shit. Our cleaning ladies are terrified of you guys. And we're standing there talking about this. He goes, no, don't worry about it. We went in there, we told the guy, you can't make massive changes or put holes in our ceiling. And the guy said, yeah, I know I can't, but it's better to ask forgiveness than permission, and paid them for the damages. I'm like, well, that's good. Maybe I won't hate him. And I felt a hand on my back. He goes, thank God. And it was the guy who did it standing right behind me. Oh my God. And he worked for the con.
And they leave the pole in?
No, they did not leave the pole in.
Extra for that room.
I think my favorite thing that the hotel staff has ever left was we were sitting around at maybe Motor City, possibly FCN. I don't remember how long ago this was. But somebody said, like, yeah, they were playing hide the dildo in the room, and hotel staff just left. Like, what the fuck's hide the dildo? It's like, oh, that's when you just put a bunch of dildos on everything.
That was FCN.
Was it FCN? That's disturbing. You're like, wait, like they had a dildo hanging from the wall? Like, no, several.
How is that hiding? That's like...
Because when you look around a room, you don't look at a painting going like, that's a wonderful boat with a dildo on the sail. No, you go, don't look up, don't look up, don't look up. They didn't replace the towels, though.
You want to know why I remember it was FCN?
No! But I'm sorry, listen. What? Oh, Jesus Christ.
I got done with FCN. I got home, and what's the first thing I see on my phone? At work. Come on. 7 dildos in a row on the ceiling. My coworker goes, what is that? I'm like, oh, you're lying.
That is a good time if you sleep on your stomach. What goes up must come down.
That's your alarm clock. You just use a different amount of clues. 7:20, flap. 7:25, flap.
I'm gonna hit snooze.
So you throw it back up again.
Oh, it's time to wake up.
It's time to get up.
Or you get a bad dragon, come to dildo, fill it with coffee, and it just...
I'm gonna do that. Driving down the street. Drinking coffee.
I don't know.
You guys don't realize what you're doing. You guys don't realize what you're doing. You guys know what you're saying, and then put it into a context of furries. 20 people.
It was
Think
bad
about it.
enough when I was at a convention where somebody used Bad Dragon cum lube to fill a water balloon. Like, oh, this is gonna be bad. Pop, oh, so much worse! And then you just see some random fucking femboy. I don't know where he came from, but you can smell the cum lube. There's been some great moments at conventions. There really has.
I really want to see someone do that as like a handicap ramp and turn it into a slip and slide. Put a pool at the end of it or something.
You know, speaking of just spilling out, years ago, I had the opportunity, shut up! I had the opportunity of finding out what the true danger of black ice really is.
Oh, yeah.
I was in DeKalb. We're gonna call the town middle of nowhere DeKalb. The nearest dwelling was at least a mile in any direction. Myself, my friend Jeff Goss were coming home from a LARPing event. All we had to do was get back to my campus at NIU. And we're on Route 23, better known as the murder route. Because if you die out there, you will never be found. And as we're driving, all he says, and we're going, I mean, it couldn't have been more than 10, 15 miles an hour. It's an ice storm, but we had to get back. I had class. And he says to me, shit, we're gonna spin out. The car started to spin out. Your brain cannot function if you look out the passenger window and you're going in that direction at 5 to 10 miles an hour. You can't function. We don't know what was happening. He just kind of held onto the wheel when this is happening. And it was like that commercial. And then we were going backwards. And I looked over, we're still moving backwards down a 2-lane highway. It's like, are we gonna be okay? And he goes, no. We had time to have a conversation. And then finally we were at 270 degrees. And while facing the wrong direction, he goes, you know, we might actually pull this off. And I had time to say, you know what the worst thing to say in a situation like this is? That we might pull this off. And then the car came to a stop at 360 degrees, half into a drainage ditch. And he looked over at me and goes, did that just happen? I'm like, yeah. He goes, you want to go again? I said, no. So we sat there until a salt truck went past about 2 hours later. But yeah, I'll never forget in my entire life. It was legit. I couldn't make this up. It was, oh, okay. I think we might be okay. We're gonna be okay. We're okay. That was kind of cool, and that was it.
Luckily, you're not the only one that's happened to.
It's ridiculous. I fucking love black ice except for driving on it.
Candace,
No offense.
tell us about the time you got I love you.
Oh, no. I can't tell that story. He has to.
Oh yeah, it's true, because you don't remember it.
That's a story that's been told a while.
True.
Well, that was the story that was told.
I was hoping you would finish. You would go with the story. What do you got?
Oh, I
Do you have any news stories?
Oh, we were promised the baby for divorce.
Well,
Yeah.
all right. No, you're right. You were promised. We've got 7 minutes to do this, and then probably another 10 minutes we'll set everything up and we'll go over the rules.
Okay.
So, all right. Who here knows what the baby vor scat party is? Okay, so some of you are fans.
So that had 3 cons. So
Baby vor scat party. So before myself and my mate got together, apparently he made an enemy. And this is back in the days when there was a post-it board that you could say, hey, Alkali showed up at the con and he's in room 205, come say hi. So for Xander, somebody put, hey, baby fur party, room 307.
Baby for divorce.
No, it was just a baby fur party. It was just a baby fur party. So we're hanging out in the room. Now we weren't dating yet at this time. We're there, him, me, his mate at the time. We're hanging out, we're having a few cocktails, we're having a good time, we're also here. More people for the party, yeah! And I open the door, there's two large gentlemen wearing t-shirts and diapers. I said, is this the place for the party? And I closed the door. And I turned around and looked at my two friends and went, what the fuck did you two do? Because I gotta leave. And then, what are you talking about? I explained to them what happened. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? They had no idea. It turns out that somebody who fucking hated them posted on the message board that they were hosting a baby fur party in their room that night. And they had multiple people knock on their door. It was not a good night. I went back to my room. So the next night we're hanging out, and like there's nothing that could have been worse than that. I'm so embarrassed. I'm like, there's things that are worse than that. Like, what could have possibly been worse than that? Like, baby vor scat party. What is a baby vor scat party? I didn't know. So I said the first thing that came to mind. I'm like, well, a baby fur shows up at the door and you have two mattresses that you paint teeth on. And inside those mattresses, you put a bunch of chocolate pudding. And you throw the baby fur into the mattress and go, ah, nom, 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 nom. And then you say, as you throw them out the door. And that's a baby fur vor scat party.
Is there a picture of that?
No, we did not do it because we are sane human beings, and I would love to say that's the end of the story, but you are not the first person to ask me in public, oh my God, is that real? No, the answer is no. And you're also wouldn't be the first person to ask me in private, going like, hey, next time you throw one of those parties, I'm like, what the fuck? Get your own pudding. Dude, you know what the worst part is? It started off as a really bad joke, and now I'm terrified. And unfortunately, I was drunk, and I explained the baby vor scat party to Kage. Now Kage is a professional, and he looked at me and went, that is disgusting. And then peed a little bit. He was laughing so. Thank you. I don't know what it is.
You know what it is.
I do know what it is. All right, we got time for one more story before we go over to. Yes. Do I owe the hibiscus story?
Yeah.
Is it? You're talking about the Vegas hibiscus story, right? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
I almost fell because
We good? All right.
Because you're uncoordinated.
We'll make this one fast. Vegas is my favorite place in the world. I love to gamble. I love to be drunk. And Vegas is the meeting of those two roads in a glorious, hate-filled place. And there's a bar in Vegas, which one day I'm taking you to, and I cannot wait.
Okay.
It's called the Chandelier Bar. Who knows what the Chandelier Bar is? Really? Holy shit, guys. Okay. If you ever go to Vegas, there's a hotel called, I think it's the Contemporary. Cosmopolitan, thank you. The hotel is called the Cosmopolitan. And in this hotel is a bar in the shape of a reverse chandelier. The bottom floor is a few steps up. It's a huge round bar. And if you sit there and drink long enough, they'll look at you and go, sir, we like you. We really like you. They might shake their titties, but that doesn't help us. Why don't you go on to the second floor of the chandelier? Now the second floor of the chandelier is kind of the same as the first floor, a few nicer things, but a lot more open space. You get your own table, you sit around with your friends. Now if you get roaring drunk and sit around and spend too much money on the second floor of the chandelier, they will send you up to the third floor. The third floor has 4 waitresses. All of them, I am assuming, are ex-porn stars, /strippers, /hookers, and just adorable. And they only have unlisted drinks. If you want a drink, they'll make it for you. If you don't want a normal drink, They will make one for you. And they brought us 2 of the greatest drinks I've ever had in my life. And one of them was the hibiscus chaser. They gave me a glass like this and a flower. And they said, take a sip. And it was delicious. Probably one of the best drinks I've ever had. I said, all right, eat the flower. I'm like, oh dear, we just met. So she took my hand and put it to my mouth, and I ate what I can only say was a dandelion mixed with grass. It was disturbing. The texture was terrible, and I had sunflower in my teeth for the rest of the day. And my mouth went numb. It was called a hibiscus bud. And then as I was doing this, she said, okay, take another drink. Okay. And hands down, the greatest drink you have ever had in your life. It was totally different than the first drink she gave you. What the hibiscus flower does is it numbs every taste bud except for sweet. I got to taste pure sugar, and my dick got hard. And that's when she looked over at Xander. And I'm a little tipsy right now, so I'm not remembering the full story. So I'm going to say that the next drink she had was the dragon's breath. She looked over at Xander, who's a dragon, so it's adorable. She said, okay, are you ready to drink your drink? And he's sitting there with a glass of purple liquid and a shot glass filled with raspberries that are smoking. It's like, no! She's like, well, do it anyway. Shoot the raspberries! And he's like, no! She said, do it anyway, and she flashed her tits. It was nice. So he shot the they were raspberries frozen in liquid nitrogen. So he shoots them, crunches them up in his mouth, and she goes, okay, drink the drink, drink the drink, drink the drink! And he got confused, which was adorable. And he grabbed the drink and went like this. And smoke poured from his mouth, poured from his nostrils, and somewhere on YouTube is this video. And it's called the Dragon's Breath because for the next 5 minutes, this drunk motherfucker was there like, I'm on fire! Ah! And smoke is just pouring from his body. And I'm laughing, and I thought I was like, ha ha ha, you are funny, you are on fire. My friend said, no, your tongue was numb. You were, and apparently I talked like that for about 20 minutes. You guys want to go hit the craps table? It's like, yes, we want you to go bet on craps. Everything else come in! Yahtzee! Yeah, but that was, I'm sure I'm forgetting the majority of it. Yeah, if you ever get a chance to try a hibiscus bud, it changes your world and stops you from talking like a normal person. It was fun. It was definitely fun. I don't know what I'm drinking, but I like it.
It is delicious. I don't know what it is. Mine's gone.
I think it was what's his name?
It was a
Odie?
Yeah, okay, so that was...
exactly what you think it is.
Odie,
Okay.
that was delicious.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Odie. All right, guys, I think we are at that time. Yes, we are. All right. Guys, we are going to reset this room. In a moment, we're going to reset this room because first I need to stop the room from spinning. Guys, fucking stop it. So before we get going, we're going to describe what's about to happen. We are about to watch a movie. For those of you who have never seen Mystery Science Theater, it is the audience job to make this, thank you. It is the audience job to make this movie fun. I have chosen an okay movie. I would not call it a good movie by any means.
Alcohol makes everything fun.
Alcohol does make it fun. It is your guys' job to yell know what, fuck it, we're gonna do this properly. Pandas, if you would kindly, we're gonna get things set, we're gonna move our table over there. While we're doing this, we're gonna tell you the story of the very first Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Would you kindly
Tell
them about the story?
Should I?
Would you kindly, sorry, I'm doing your other story.
I know. The very first time this panel happened, it was me, this gentleman, and a few of our friends. We were running Indie Furcon in 2011.
Hold on, I can tell you. 2010 and 11 were at the other hotel.
So it was 2012.
2012. Furs in space.
Furs in space, yes. The theme was Furs in Space. Myself and this gentleman and a few of the other people from the board of directors and a few of our close friends said, we're going to do Mystery Science Theater 3000. It's one of the funniest things we've ever seen. It's going to be a perfect panel. We're going to watch a terrible movie on our own. We're going to come up with some funny lines, and we're going to say them to the audience. And this dumb motherfucker over here watched Battlefield Earth twice.
Before the panel itself.
I did not watch it. I'm an asshole. Sorry.
Neither did Roxas then.
Neither did Roxas. So the night of the panel comes, and we start to do it. We start to say the things that we thought would be funny, and no one could hear us. You know why? Because the audience was doing their own commentary. Why the fuck did we need to talk? The audience had it covered. We're like, well, we're running this. We need to do something. What the fuck are we gonna do? So he looked over and he says, let's make it a charity event. And he screamed that, which a bunch of people went, yay! Like, okay. So he said, all right, it's a drinking game now. You guys make the rules, you put money into the hat. He had seen the movie twice already. You judge if that rule is worthy of the dollar amount that went in the hat, and we will drink. And apparently it was worthy, and it was scary. Because you motherfuckers put a lot of money in that hat. And the greatest rule you came up with was center screen wipe. Anytime the screen changed, from center out.
Oh my goodness.
There is a scene in Battlefield Earth that starts like this. Do you remember back when I said the thing, center screen wipe, back in time? Going back, it's like, I said the thing, center screen wipe, back to present time? I did say this thing, center screen wipe, next scene. This poor motherfucker is like, and finished a bottle of rum. The night ended. I stood up.
But I finished a bottle of rum halfway through the movie.
Yes, that's true.
And at that point, drunk off my ass, visibly drunk off my ass, I turned to our fellow co-host, Roxas, and I was, Roxas, my rum is gone. Can I have some of your vanilla vodka?
Oh, no.
And my good friend, seeing that I'm obviously completely destroyed, goes, have the last 3/4 of my vodka. Which
The movie ended. I stood up and I said to the room what I thought was, thank you guys very much for being here. We appreciate everything you do for charity. Have a nice night. But it was apparently, they understood. This gentleman, we cleared out the room, and this gentleman looked over and I said, bed, and just kind of went, no. And we knew he wasn't going to move. So a few of us went, it's time for bed. And as we stood him up, he said to us, wait a minute. Table, you held our drinks for the entire movie. I couldn't have drank without you, Table. And I love you. I love you, Table. Tablecloth, you're okay. But Table, really, you're the backbone. Without you, tablecloth, it's cloth, it's a sheet. I never have sex, not under the sheet. You're useless, tablecloth, you're useless! I love you, Table. And we went, oh! oh, we've got a problem. So we stood him all the way up. He's using the table for support, thanking the table that he is supporting. Wait a minute. And turned around without moving his feet. Chair, you supported me. And I know it's not an easy job. You supported Alpha, and he fidgets. He fidgets a lot. You're a good chair. I love you too. 4 legs is good for dogs, and it's good for chairs. Like, oh, fuck, we're screwed. And we got him to the door of the room when he put out both of his hands. Wait a minute. Door! You kept the riff-raff out! No one appreciates you, Dorlock, you can be picked. I was picked last for baseball, you can be picked. Dor, you're the real hero. I was sober at this point. We took this gentleman out into the hallway where he thanked everyone for being at his convention. Bear in mind, there were non-convention goers at the hotel.
Hotel staff.
Oh, yeah.
The frat boys, which is another story.
Yeah.
Random J people that were not part of either group.
Yep.
Literally everyone. Thank you.
Thank you
for supporting IFC.
Thank you.
You make this con happen. What the hell con is he talking?
The greatest thing you'll ever see is if people are like, thank you. Thank you. They're just like, is he gonna poke me in the eye? We got him to the elevator. We put him into the elevator and he threw us and said, why is there not a 13th floor? 13 is a number 2. And then he hit the second floor. The hotel was only 7 stories tall. We were very confused. And we got him upstairs. And we're at his room. And all of a sudden, this gentleman used all of his might to Kamehameha all through us and turned towards the wall with the fire alarm. The door to his room is right here, and the fire alarm is right here. Wait a minute. Fire alarm! You get a lot of bad rap, but you protect us all. But not even I'm stupid enough to touch you, and went into his room. Oh, I've never been so relieved in my life. That was the very first instance of this panel.
And we decided after that happened, let's do it at every con we can.
So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, welcome to